In our last session, we read a letter from a young lady who complained that her 8-year-old brother, Louis, kept coming into her room and violating her privacy and disturbing her things, despite her repeated admonitions to the contrary and her pleas with her parents for help. I suggested that she realized that Louis was in great part a product of his parental training and that she restrain her anger toward him. Now, back to the writer of the letter. It's obvious that Louis is not responding to words, so the time has come to teach him with consequences. You're his sister, not his mother, so your ability to impose consequences is limited, but there's still plenty you can do. First, you can install a lock on your door. Simple as can be. This would probably require some discussion with your parents, but with minimal difficulty and expense, you could install a lock, with or without a deadbolt, that would keep your brother out. You would have a key, and your parents would have a copy, and he would be denied access. Problem solved. Now, you could also deal with his recent violation of your property and privacy. You could ask your parents to administer a consequence for that. He needs to learn to be accountable for his behavior. You can't demand this. You're not his parents, so that's not your right. But a consequence certainly is warranted, since he's not learning his lesson. And the purpose of a consequence is to make a behavior sufficiently inconvenient that someone won't want to repeat a behavior again. The consequence should also be linked to the behavior in some way, where possible. So, what you might suggest is that because he made your life inconvenient, it would be appropriate for him to be required to make your life more convenient. For example, he might be required to do a number of your chores around the house for a time. Maybe he cleans the kitchen that you normally clean for a week, or takes out the garbage, or cleans out the kitty litter box for a month, or whatever. Or he's assigned to be your personal slave for a day, or a week, or the rest of your life, or something. Or because he chose to violate your privacy, he might find it inconvenient to have his privacy disregarded for a time. For example, he might not like having the door to his bedroom removed for a week. Every child is bothered more or less by different things. So you'd have to choose a consequence that would be inconvenient for him in particular. The point is that he needs to understand that violating your space is not all right. And he must be taught in a way that the next time he thinks of doing it, he'll stop and remember the consequence that happened the last time. He'll think, I really didn't like what happened the last time I did this, so I don't think I'll do it again this time. That is the goal of consequences. I suggest that you present all this reasoning and these suggestions to your parents in a logical and non-hysterical way and see what happens. At the very least, get the lock and avoid being angry at your brother, which never helps anybody or makes anybody happy. Always, always try to be loving. It's simply the happier way to live.